Hi, I'm Mitzi. Our objective is to learn how to launch and dock a boat from the Sailing Institution. Okay, so if we want to launch our boat, what do we need to do before that to get ready for the launching?
Well, I think we need to put all of our stuff on it.
Yeah, so you need to repair the boat, so rig it, and you need to put everything in the boat except for your centerboard and your rudder, okay, because those will scrape on the bottom. What's the next step after you rig the boat?
Push the boat into the water?
Yeah, so, but before that you need to be able to put it on a dolly to get it into the water, alright? So you have the boat on the dolly, and then you push it off, and as you're going down, do you need to watch for anything else? Yeah?
You need to watch for other boats in the harbor.
Mm-hmm. So see where other people are in the harbor, on the docks, so you know where you can go. Alright, so now you've taken your dolly, put it all the way to the bottom, the boat has been pushed into the water. Alright, so now you're holding onto your boat, and you have your dolly beside you. What should you do next?
You must tie the boat off somewhere, or
Yeah.
hang onto it with a long line and take the dolly back on land.
Yeah, exactly. So get somebody to hold on to the boat, or the painter, and then somebody else can bring up the dolly. Now one person's holding onto the boat, and how do you start getting the boat ready for sailing?
You need to hoist the mainsail.
Anything else?
Put in the centerboard and rudder.
Yeah. So you have to make sure that one person's doing that while the other person's holding onto the boat. Because if two people go into the boat, then it'll drift away. Alright? And now, so your boat's all ready and you have one person holding on. How are you going to launch the boat?
How do you get in the boat once you're one person's in the boat and you're still in the water? How do you get in?
Yeah, so you can do it two different ways. So the first way is, well, you have to make sure nobody else is around, and then you would turn the boat facing a direction, and then sort of push off and jump in. And then the second option is to get somebody else to hold it.
Okay.
So which one do you think would be better or safer?
I think it'd be better to get somebody else to hold it.
Yeah, yeah. So then you could have also another opinion of where to go. When you're pushing off, are there any other dangers you need to look out for in the harbor or in the arena?
So you have to watch out for other boats.
And other boats, maybe other courses as well. So then you, and then another big thing you need to look out for is the wind direction, because that has a great impact on how you launch your boat. So after you've been sailing around for a while and you're told that you need to go and dock, what are some things you need to look out for even before you've reached the dock? Like, we're talking about like wind, boats, that kind of thing.
Windbreaks, whether rocks go out,
Yeah, for sure. So like,
or buoys or things like that.
yeah,
Watermark.
so barriers to getting safely to the dock, so things you could run into, you have to watch out for that. Any other things, like maybe other, yeah?
Yeah, look out for other boats.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So you want to make sure that you don't go through any courses or run into any boats on your way there. Also wind direction, how could that affect your docking?
It's going to be hard to dock if you're going straight into the wind.
Yeah, so you need to plan out your route so you know which way you're going to get back so that you don't end up stuck in irons or in any other bad situation in rocks or anything like that. Alright, so once you've planned your route and you're in safe, clear water and you're on your way, what kind of speed should you have going into the dock?
I think you should have slowed down a lot.
Yeah, for sure. So you want to make sure that you're going slowly. What else? So you're coming into the dock kind of slowly. How are you going to like land? Do you maybe need somebody on the dock?
On
Yes.
the dock, or
Yeah, so it would be a good idea to maybe call on somebody if you're close enough to the dock. Ask somebody to be ready on the dock to catch you. Maybe somebody else who's already docked. So that way that when you come in, they can catch you and it's safe. So that's much better than trying to jump off the boat as it's heading in and then try to dock there. So once you've landed, what do you do next? So any ideas of like how to get the boat out of the dock, out of the water?
I guess you tie the boat off and then go get your dolly.
Yeah. So somebody has to be holding on. You get the dolly. What about the rigging again? What do we need to keep in mind for that?
You need your centerboard up and your rudder out of the water.
Yeah, because if you don't do that, then they can drag on the ground. So you take those out, and does everybody need to be out of the boat when it comes up?
I think so.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
And
So
the
they-
sail, does it go down as
It
soon as
can.
you dock?
Yeah.
Anything?
It probably should. Yeah, especially on windy days. So everything's down. Yeah, so then after that you just pull the boat onto the dolly and then you bring it up. For example, if this is your situation, this is the dock and these are the boats and this is you, alright? And you're trying to dock your boat. So you're trying to get it there on the dock. How would you do that? Where would you want to go and that would be the most safe way in this situation?
Well, I think you can kind of just try to squeeze right through into here.
Yeah, so that would get you to the dock, but that wouldn't be the most safe way to do it because there's a much larger possibility that you'd hit one of the boats on the way there or you'd get stuck depending on where the wind was coming from and how strong it was. So I think that the best way to deal with this situation is to keep sailing around here. And you have to wait or ask for this person to move down. So say this person ends up getting out of the water and docking, then these people will move down. And this means you have a lot more space. And this means that it's much more difficult to get in an accident or hit another boat. Say the wind is coming right from here, all right? And you have a nice space again. How would you be able to dock? So you can't go straight into it. So what would you do in this situation?
You could like tack into it like this and then get someone to catch you.
Yeah,
Come in.
yeah. So you'd need to make sure that you've timed your tacks so that just as you tack over, you get into the dock. So without hitting this boat. So it'd be good, especially in this situation, to have somebody else on the dock waiting so that as you tack over, somebody can catch you without hitting another boat.
So what are the two people on the boat doing? If there's one person up ready to catch somebody at the dock and one person is using the sail?
No, so you have to make sure that you're slowing down the boat and waiting, basically.
Okay.
How would you slow down the boat in this scenario?
Yeah, so some methods that you could use to slow down the boat. Do you have any ideas? Like
Drop the sail a bit?
yeah, so definitely. If you dropped the sail, that would significantly reduce your speed. Any other ideas?
Backwind the sail?
Yeah, backwind the sail. Even if you start to sort of head closer into irons, head into the wind, because then your sail will be catching less air. Yeah, but as soon as you let down your sail or anything, you'll just start to drift. So then it's a good idea to make sure that you have a clear course and know where you're heading. Okay. So we just covered docking or coming into the dock. So now we're going to talk about launching. So trying to get the boat from on the dock to in the water. Alright, so for this one we're going to use 3. Alright, so say this boat has just gotten into the water and it's all ready and all the parts are rigged up and the wind is coming from the top. Alright, so right now, what point of sail would this be? So would the boat be moving at all?
It'd be in irons.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be moving.
Yeah, so that's one of the best case scenarios. So your boat's not moving at all. So when you push off the boat, that means you can push right off into the wind like that. So as you bear off, then it'll catch wind and you can start to sail. An important part of the wind direction is that it impacts where you sit, because you want to sit on the opposite side of the sail. So as soon as you, in this case, since you push off to the left side, since there's boats on your right side, the sails would also be on the left side. So that means that you should be prepared to sit on the right side of the boat. So as soon as you push off, you have to make sure that both the two people in the boat are on the same side of the boat, so that they can make sure that the boat is flat and stable, because that's a lot safer. And then you can push off. Each of these cards has a different step of the launching process written on it. So using what we went through before, I want you to try to put these in order of the first thing you do to the last thing you do. So you can talk about why you think each one would go where, and yeah, just the reasons behind what you think.
I think one of the first ones to do, I'm going to put them facing this way, is to rig the boat.
Okay, yeah.
Now, we're all doing this together.
What else we got here?
Well, now
Bring
this
the boat.
doesn't go
Bring the
until
boat to
the
the
end.
dock.
This pushing the boat into the water would be towards the end.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so
That's towards the end.
Maybe push the boat into the water.
One person.
pushing the boat. Oh, that's up sooner than I thought. Then when do we
Wait,
cut the
Does
center
one
board
person
in?
get into the boat before it goes into the water? Maybe after it's in the water.
Yeah, so remember you can't have people in the boat before it's in the water.
Balance the boat before one person gets in the water? Into the boat?
Yeah, so you want to make sure that that's one of the steps you want to do before pushing off to start sailing.
Okay.
So you have to make sure that, yeah, so that's making sure you're on the other side of the sail.
Okay.
Should we put
Yeah,
the
when do we
center
do
board
this?
and rudder?
Yeah, so that's what that one person would be doing.
Okay.
So once one person gets in,
This
they
is
put in
going
the
to
center
be one
board
of
and
the
rudder.
last steps.
Yeah.
So we should watch for other boats and find the wind direction pretty early on in this.
Would the one person balance the boat? Maybe?
Yeah. So balancing the boat as soon as you get in it, that's a good idea.
So then the second person gets in, and you find the wind direction before you sail.
Yeah, so that could definitely work. Another time is that you could find the wind direction actually even before this. So as soon as you push the boat into the water, you want to be watching for the wind direction, because that impacts where you put your boat in relation to other boats, and just it affects how you're going to sort of be careful, how careful you need to be. Well, like how, if you do need to balance the boat, depending how
Sure.
windy it is, that kind of thing. So this would almost be, yeah, at the same time, so you just put them beside each other. So, rigging the boat, you bring the boat down to the dock, you push it into the water as you figure out your wind direction, then one person gets into the boat, you put down the center board, and you put in the rudder, make sure the boat is balanced and ready, then the second person will get in, and you ask somebody to push you off. And yeah, so watching for other boats, you want to make sure that before somebody pushes you off, you know where other boats are. Any ideas why you might want to do that?
Just so you know, if you have to tack out a certain way, that
Mm-hmm.
you know, one may be coming. Maybe
Yeah.
it's not in your way now, but it will be in 30 seconds, kind of.
Yeah, so it's good to be prepared for those kinds of things, because when they come up, you're not going to have much time to come up with a new plan. So it's good to have one before it starts. Alright, so some key things that we learned for how to safely launch and dock a boat would probably include wind direction, looking out for other boats, and just making sure that you have other people on hand to help you with catching and pushing off your boat, because it's a lot more effective having other people to help you, and it just makes the whole situation a lot safer. So I hope that today you learned how to safely launch and dock a boat from your sailing institution. Thank you.